welcome back to the channel. We have an exciting day today because it is Ahsoka Tano Day.
Ahsoka, yeah, first 2 episodes of a show that is highly anticipated for us. We're big Ahsoka fans. However, at least speaking for myself, I'm kind of in a weird spot with Star Wars. I thought Mandalorian Season 3 was the definition of mid. Y'all commented in the comments of our Mandalorian episodes, were like, oh, if you want to see like really good Star Wars, you need to go back and watch Andor. We went back and watched Andor for Patreon. You can go check out the full-length reactions if you go down there. It sucked. I hated Andor. Andor was terrible.
Gosh, I can already see the comments
I'm
now.
sorry. It was so boring. How many times did we have to see one person eat cereal? That was enough. But also, there's a lot of other stuff too that I didn't like about it. But I mean,
We like the prison part.
the prison part was like really,
That was
really good.
fire.
Anyway, Andor, neither here nor there.
All right, starting the video great. Okay, we're excited for Ahsoka. We love
Yeah.
Rebels. I also recently read the Heir to the Empire trilogy, all 3 books. I made a vlog on it on my book channel. You can go check that out if you want to see that. But that was really fun. I enjoyed those books, and I think that part of the story may or may not be adapted to this show, so that's fun.
Casey also met Hayden Christensen in that video and told him that she liked him in the movie Takers. Not Star Wars, Takers.
It was supposed to be a joke, and it came off wrong, and if you watch the video, you'll get the context, but I did meet him in that video.
So Ahsoka, we kind of know that it's probably going to take place with a lot of the Rebels characters. In the trailer, we obviously saw Hera, we saw Sabine. I'm assuming that Zeb is going to pop up at some... everyone's probably going to pop up from Rebels, but Zeb was in Mandalorian Season 3. Thrawn, obviously, I'm really excited to see him. Ezra, you know, we have our ideas for Ezra. Me and Casey sometimes just chat about like what Ezra's character could be, and I think that it'd be really cool to see him go to the dark side.
What do you think Ezra's doing?
But yeah, I've heard some rumors about where this show could go. Like you said, you feel like they're going to be adapting in some form or capacity Heir to the Empire. I know through Casey reading those books kind of what happens in Heir to the Empire. She's going to probably know a little bit more, obviously, than I do because she actually read them. I got the Cliff Notes.
I mean, if they do all that stuff, it would be cool, but also it's not gonna, like, I'm not gonna get my hopes up or anything, you know? It'd be kind of like a fun moment, but I'm also just really excited to see all the Rebels characters as well, and then see just like what elements they potentially might take from the trilogy. Also, the Heir to the Empire trilogy, and yeah.
Equally, I'm excited to see that as well, but I do want to see references to the past with Ahsoka and Anakin. I feel they had to kind of reveal that Anakin was in this show because there's a lot of things kind of going on right now. Like what I said earlier, Star Wars, in my opinion, isn't in the best place viewership-wise. I don't really feel like a lot of people have been talking about Star Wars. Maybe Boba Fett, but honestly, Mandalorian Season 2, when Luke's big reveal happened. Also, I'm really curious, how are they going to have this presented to people who haven't seen Rebels? Because obviously, this is almost kind of like a continuation of Rebels. And with that, if you haven't seen it, 4 seasons of that show, there might be some confusing elements, and I'm curious how they're going to kind of compact that, you know, here's what happened in 4 seasons of the show, and this is why you should care about it. That could also affect its viewership. So this could be a really good show, but it could also have low viewership numbers because of that. Depending on, you know, the pacing of it and all, which I actually really like Rebels. I like Clone Wars as well too. I think Clone Wars has some of the biggest moments in the animated shows. However, I think I really do like Rebels from beginning to end. Getting introduced to those characters and just kind of following them throughout, I thought was really fun. Whereas like the first few seasons of Clone Wars kind of were a little all over the place. It started to really pick up steam, in my opinion, towards Season 3 and in the introduction of like Maul and Savage and whatnot. We do know that Anakin is going to be in the show in some capacity because of that trailer they released a couple weeks ago, which is another reason why I feel like Disney's kind of promoting it to say like, hey, guess what? Hayden Christensen's in here, the Chosen One's in here, and then also, obviously we're not here at 2 in the morning anymore watching this show, which is a big relief.
Thank you all for doing that.
But I could also say, is that also another way to try and get this show a little bit more hyped because we're not releasing it at 2 in the morning. So if you don't stay up till 2 in the morning, I always thought this was kind of silly. I feel like a lot of people probably did. But if you didn't stay up till 2 in the morning, if you just like casually got on your phone, got on social media, you could have gotten spoiled for something big that happened. Like I couldn't even imagine if we didn't stay up for the Luke reveal at the end of Mando Season 2, we probably would have been spoiled. We did, however, but a lot of shows, just like HBO, you know, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead back in the day, Breaking Bad, all got released at like a certain time. And it was always like Sunday evenings at like 7 or 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And then it kind of like led to like this big discussion. I remember Casey, during like the peak Game of Thrones, she would always go on Reddit after and like look up all like what people are saying about the shows and whatnot.
That's like the fun of it though, is like, okay, I'm gonna look it up and then I'm gonna like, you know, read discussions or talk to my, you know, coworkers the next week. It's just like the fun thing to do.
Anyway, with all that being said, first 2 episodes of Ahsoka, hopefully it's good.
I'm like nervously excited. Like I don't know.
Like, is it gonna be good? Is it gonna be mid? Who knows?
I even have my cup, even though I use this like in every video, but now it's extra special.
They have a crawl?
Wow, that's cool.
Ask them to identify themselves and transmit their clearance code.
They're Jedi.
Oh, is it Balin?
Yeah. Which rest in peace, Ray Stevenson.
From the trailer, he looked like one of the coolest parts of the show.
He looks so cool.
Oh, okay. This is probably that scene in the trailer where they wreck shop.
Ooh.
This is kind of mimicking a little bit Phantom Menace a little bit when Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon showed up. Oh, start killing everyone.
It's quite a surprise meeting Jedi out here. I don't buy it.
Like that they're not?
You're no Jedi.
Whoa.
Just some overconfident Imperial trash who just pushed their luck too far.
Oh my gosh.
Sir, should have surrendered when the Empire collapsed.
Oh, y'all all gonna die.
Oh my gosh.
Show you our identification.
Oh! Dang.
You're right about one thing, Captain. We are no Jedi.
Oh my gosh, he is so freaking cool.
Like,
Wow.
one scene with Ray Stevenson, and I'm already like
Wow.
obsessed with his character. This is like, I think, the scene from the
Yeah.
trailer, yeah.
Oh man.
I remember when I saw this, I was like, okay, he's gonna be a really cool character. He just looks so friggin' intimidating, you know?
She knows about Thrawn.
Who is this Jedi?
Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka. I mean, it already started off really good.
These are the Night Sisters,
The Night
right?
Sisters. Those are the Night Sisters.
Ooh, if we saw Mother Talcin, that'd be cool. Like, I don't think she's here,
I
but
do love the Night Sisters. Well, if Lady Morgan is a Night Sister, then that would make sense for the connection, you know?
Yeah.
To kind of bring more of them in.
I know a lot of people, because they saw that thing that surrounds them, which I'm assuming is the map, but people speculated that could be like the World Between Worlds map too. So that's got to come back into play here at some point too.
I like the soundtrack. The drums. Why is this reminding me of the Fifth Element? Remember?
Yeah, I remember. Like Ahsoka goes to the middle.
Where's your multipass?
That even looks like the freaking things that they had to unlock in the Fifth Element.
It looks like
The golden snitch.
It looks like the map from Treasure Planet, which is so underrated as a Disney movie. Everybody go watch it right now. Oh, I was like, is she gonna go back in the hole? Oh, dang!
that was pretty cool,
And she
yeah.
took them from down below.
Work smarter, not harder. It's honestly cool just to see like lightsabers being used in Star Wars again, to be honest. Self-destruct?
She ran.
Damn.
Wow, that was a bit. That's like self-destruct, like kill the entire planet. Like, dang.
Thrawn.
That's not possible. Thrawn died at the Battle of Lothal.
His death was never confirmed.
So do they just think that like Ezra died too then?
Something.
That they both just died on that ship?
And the secret is held in that map.
They saw the pearl.
If Thrawn survived, does that mean Ezra?
Okay, there we go.
They probably just assumed, and now they're like, maybe.
I hope so.
Yeah, so it's giving him hope.
I want Dark Ezra.
Thanks to the heroic efforts of Commander Ezra Bridger, who sacrificed himself to liberate our world. This monument stands in recognition
Oh, it's the painting.
Oh yes.
I can see Kanan in between
Wow.
the people. Which we saw that in the trailer, but it's cool that they put that
Yeah.
here. So they took Sabine's painting and put it here.
A few words. Is one of those rebel leaders. Commander Sabine Wren.
Sabine.
She's not
No,
here.
Security, I want a full perimeter sweep. Sabine Wren. Find her now.
Sounds imperial.
Yeah.
Hunting somebody down. I like how they put that painting
Yeah,
in
I like
live
that a
action.
lot.
And that takes us back to
Oh
like the
my
very beginning
gosh,
of Rebels.
This like
Road?
highway? What do you?
guess so,
I
yeah.
think so. Here's Sabine. You know that little formality didn't really seem like her thing.
Yeah.
They found her. Well, was she required to be there?
I know. I was like, screw y'all. I can do whatever the hell I want to do.
Repeat, Commander Wren. Do you
Have to
copy?
take y'all's asses down too, just like the Empire.
Hey, she's a commander. Well, Sabine has a problem with authority, as did everybody who fought the literal Empire.
That was like Ezra's tower, right?
Yeah.
Be
A
honest.
Loth cat. Or Loth cat.
I say loaf.
Hey. Either way. Oh, it's so cute. Oh.
With its chicken legs.
I know.
You said it's cute, but it's kind of ugly.
It's cute.
It's ugly.
Cute.
Ezra stuff.
Ezra stuff.
Which we know she has the lightsaber. It honestly, everything from the trailer seems like it was from this freaking one episode. Because I think that might be like the hologram of Ezra, right?
Yeah,
from the trailer.
yeah.
We're not really family, but you're like a sister to me.
That's weird.
Maybe he just said that because he was like,
Yeah.
didn't want to admit his feelings, you know?
Yes. I feel like you could probably say like a friend, you know? Like sister, like kind of definitively like
Hey,
you got sister zoned.
What was this place? An ancient temple built by my ancestors.
Say the Night Sisters. Say
The
Mother
Night
Towson.
Sisters of Dathomir.
Yes. Okay. Confirmation.
Ahsoka Tano's former apprentice is on the Thal. You're looking for Sabine Wren.
Was
They
she
said
ever like
former.
former apprentice? I don't know about that.
did anything happen? Like, if anything, she was kind of like Kanan's more so apprentice.
Barely.
Apprentice, barely, but technically.
I feel like it's a stretch to even call her an apprentice to anybody.
'Cause she never-
Unless there's something we hadn't seen, you know?
Right?
Because
Maybe they did something in like the past and
she
it didn't
practiced
work
with
out.
the dark saber like twice and then gave it to freaking Bo-Katan, yeah.
I mean, they clearly have some tension.
Like, have they spoken since? Also, I'm a little confused by the whole. At the end of Rebels, she showed up to look for Ezra in like this like white robes and stuff. So before or after this? You would think it was before, right? Because I remember the situation like she was looking at the mural, and then Ahsoka showed up, and then it was like heavily implied that they were gonna go look for Ezra.
Maybe they tried and she tried to be the apprentice and then they fought and now they're just
I
here.
think I know what mine is.
Okay.
Unless maybe they're changing it.
Maybe they like tweaked it a little.
Maybe.
Talk about your past. Like,
Talk about your future.
fill us in. Are you like, do you still want to be a Jedi or what? Like, is that even a thing? What's going on?
Oh, was she like?
Oh.
I take it these patterns have meanings. You have the artist's eye. Tell me what you see.
Can someone resurrect Maul, please? I love Maul.
Just throw that in there.
Just like
throw it
not
out
even
there.
a part of the plot
Just
at all.
Anybody.
We just needed more live action Maul. I told this to Casey recently.
This isn't just about finding Ezra. It's about preventing another war.
You think I don't know that?
The map stays here.
Okay.
Now she knows what it's like to have a sassy apprentice. Anakin was a sassy apprentice. She was a sassy apprentice. The cycle continues.
Technically, Luke was a little sassy too.
This is where it gets interesting. The
What does that mean?
construction and overall design are executed exactly the way I taught younglings to build a lightsaber.
Jedi,
They were Jedi.
obviously.
Yeah.
This one, I do not recognize.
Is that
Shin?
Balin or Shin?
In the last 500 years, I've only
Balin.
known
Balin.
one student who built a saber such as this.
So he may have found somebody later. Yeah. Okay.
Balin. Balin Skull is such a cool
That's a
name.
badass last name too. Yeah.
Sabine, you're going to want to hear.
She's gone.
The cup is on the ground.
She closed the table too. She like put it back.
She take the little map thingy?
Oh, did she? Drop droid.
There's honestly a lot of little callbacks that remind me of the Phantom Menace here. Like, this reminds me of when Maul was going after Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan in the first one. And then even when Ahsoka jumped on the ship, that was reminiscent of Qui-Gon jumping on the ship, too. So she did take it.
She's probably gonna find out how to open it.
It smelled it.
It doesn't like it.
It's like our pug.
I know.
Also like our pug. Hates anything it doesn't know. He doesn't know. I don't know why I call my pug an it.
Everything's gonna be fine. I don't understand why things have to be so difficult.
Considering your history,
Like, she was difficult, like what you said.
See, now it's just like this is like what Anakin went through when he got her too. When he got her.
I bet your master found you difficult at times.
Oh, sensitive subject. Oh, awkward.
What if she was like, come back and like, that's why your lover is dead.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Just like I walked away from Sabine.
I mean,
that's something that we haven't learned yet.
Yeah.
Because they're obviously referring to a time that we have not seen.
like what happened? I wonder what happened.
Sometimes even the right reasons have the wrong consequences.
Oh.
What do we do then?
I feel like a lot of that is also about Anakin too, like, you know, walking away from him. She might feel also like partially responsible, you know, because now she kind of like walked away from her, even though she didn't fully yet, I don't think. But like Sabine's also Mandalorian, so it might be hard for her to, you know, accept wanting to be a Jedi also.
Mortis.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh! I love the Mortis arc.
3 faces.
Father, daughter, son. She was there when they discovered the damn the entrance to the freaking World Between Worlds with Ezra.
And Ahsoka literally has some of the sister in her.
I mean, it's a weird way to word it, but
She
yes,
does!
yeah, that owl.
And her spirit, kind of, that brought her back to life. Oh, like you line it up?
It's like a Rubik's Cube.
Wow! Whoa.
A map of the galaxy? Another galaxy. I think that's where they're located. Thrawn or Ezra or both.
I feel like Thrawn and Ezra be like best buds. They're like,
Besto
yeah, we just been
friendos."
chilling, you know? In the unknown region. Riding on our Purgle.
It's like we settled our differences.
Think I'm going on a trip?
By yourself, Sabine?
I mean, she's not. Ahsoka's showing up.
Oh gosh. Oh!
Shin's droids.
Oh no! They're gonna take it! Hopefully you have a photographic memory. Oh my
Damn,
god, dang!
they're
They were
really
like,
like-
you know what? Nobody's knowing anything ever again. They really made sure of that.
Oh, lightsaber.
Oh!
We've been looking for this.
This is like your other alternative. Because you're the apprentice and she's the apprentice.
Pretty sure she's probably been trained, though, a little bit better. Shin. Who's the better apprentice? This is Sabine's canon event. I feel like Shin is kind of toying with her.
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh, what the fuck? I mean, she's not dead. Obviously.
Is she gonna use mechanics to fix that?
She'll be fine. They're not gonna kill her in the first freaking episode, obviously.
Oh,
Ray Stevenson. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Okay, so jumping right into the second one now, because we know Sabine's gonna live, because apparently the only person who dies from a torso lightsaber wound is Qui-Gon.
The droids. They took the map.
Relax.
This is why she told you not to take it off the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Where did the path in our galaxy begin? What planet?
Could you have been able to
They
tell?
took the map before I could decipher.
No. Tell me there's a recording device? Well, the dude shot the dude. The droid shot the damn computer.
Ahsoka.
Get some rest.
Wait.
Does the droid have like Ring doorbell type of eyeballs where it like recorded it as it died?
Ring doorbell.
Like with motion and just
You know what's being learning moment? Learning moment. You will grow. Honestly, they look so cool together.
You know what? She has a fucking Padawan braid. Like
She does.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does.
That sounds a little whaley, right?
Oh my gosh, is that a Purgle?
Do they have to use the Purgle to get to the other part of the galaxy?
Ooh.
Or the other galaxy, I should say.
A galaxy far, far away. Toil and trouble. That sounds witchy. You know, like
Yeah.
boil and toil and trouble. I said that wrong. Y'all, you know.
Yeah. Ahsoka's like, don't worry, you just shot the computer in its torso, so it'll be fine.
Kat, do you have a memory?
I'm sure it has a memory. I don't know about a photographic memory or...
Can you decipher this map? This is why Sabine's acting her certain way. She misses Ezra.
It's funny because that Ezra looks so much older than like the Ezra we knew.
What is that? Oh. Oh.
Wait, that droid...
Oh. Can we use its...
I was hoping you were still here.
Oh, maybe she could use its
Memory
ring
bag.
doorbell memory.
What happens if you get the power levels wrong? The head will explode?
Oh, no.
I say go for it.
Because you're a hologram.
I want to see her baby with the
Her
green
baby.
hair.
I mean,
No,
that wasn't a baby. That was like a grown child.
A child, her kid with the green hair.
What's, Jason Syndulla, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I'm pulling the plug.
Hey, you're not in charge. Did it work?
This droid came here from Corellia.
This place was not built by the Jedi. Whose work is it?
The Night Sisters?
An ancient people from a distant galaxy.
Maybe not.
Are they from a distant galaxy?
Would you like to see it?
He's like, I'm here, ain't I? If Mother Taliesin was still alive, I would like love that. She was like a cool character that I kind of wish that they kind of dived into more.
You see Night Sister magic? That's like something I really liked about them is they use like a different
They used
form
magic.
Yeah.
That is our destination. While Grand Admiral Thrawn is banished.
Pathway to Peridia.
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 She looks pissed.
Is that the voice?
Thrawn calls to
Oh. Whoa!
Thrawn call? How?
That's Thrawn? I thought that was gonna be like, you know, Mother Talison's like
Yeah.
scary voice with the scariness.
I mean, Thrawn doesn't have any abilities that we know of.
You see him be using Ezra?
How would Ezra have that ability?
Force? I don't know.
I'm fucking. Who the hell had the Force to be able to transmute
just like make my Force go
their
all the
ideas
way
to a different galaxy?
Hey, you don't know what they discovered in the unknown.
It's on its way here.
Eye of
Make sure
Sion.
that everything is ready for its
Sauron. What was the fucking Game of Thrones? Not Game of Thrones. Lord of the Rings.
Sauron?
Sauron. Yeah. It's been forever since I've seen Game of Thrones.
You mean Lord of the Rings?
Oh. Al's in the chat.
What happens when we find Thrawn?
What happens?
For some, war.
But what about for y'all?
For some, what does that mean?
Others, a new beginning.
Ooh.
What has he promised y'all?
Ahsoka Tano, this is Min Weaver, Regional Supervisor.
I was just telling General
Is that
Syndulla
Monk?
that when the Empire
That is
assets
Monk.
were dissolved and redistributed.
From that show Monk.
This way.
Show us your child.
The facility still employ any of her former staff?
Of course, there was no other way to remain operational.
Fuck that. Get rid of all that. What are you talking about? No wonder why there's corruption.
Ex-Imperials at every level of the New Republic government.
There needed to be executions. I'm just kidding.
The average worker doesn't care about the nuances of galactic politics.
You say that.
They have loyalty so long as they're paid.
You say that.
You?
I'm a businessman, General. My loyalty is to my investors.
So you could be bought off, is what you're saying.
I heard your repairs were complete.
Repairs.
I see you still have your lightsaber.
Ezra's lightsaber.
Ezra's lightsaber.
There we go. There we
Joe
go.
reconstructed it, and by all accounts it served him well. Then he passed it on to you.
Hey, he just hasn't returned for it yet.
I can't train if Ahsoka doesn't want to teach me.
I think you'll just need to have
Is
a
an
conversation.
excuse. And a poor one.
You can go to Luke's school.
You can become a Sith. They'll train you.
Was she going to tell me about Ezra, or was this little reunion Hera's idea?
Generals in
Oh,
Europe
like
thought
she
your
thinks that
insights-
she wouldn't even be involved in all this.
Like, what the fuck happened between
Yeah, they
them?
had some serious beef. Like, dang.
She doesn't want me back.
What did you do? What?
Spilled the tea.
I never had the talent, the abilities. Not like Ezra.
That much is true.
What a burn by a droid.
Over the centuries, and I can safely say your aptitude for the Force would fall short of them all.
Whoa, dang. That was savage. Way to convince her not to.
The only time you are wasting is your...
Oh, it was reverse psychology. That was like, you suck. Your force sucks. Your force is small and tiny. It'll never compare to the other one's force.
And it's just as ugly as a loath cat.
Classified.
Classified?
I'm a general.
From her?
Nothing's classified.
I'm sorry. I cannot unseal the document without authorization.
From who?
Authorizing it.
I'm not sure you can.
What?
Want to bet?
C1, can you come over here, please?
What's the droid gonna
Perhaps
do
you
to
can
help
help
you?
with protocol here. Standard protocol types, as well as
Ooh.
CCLs.
Yeah.
Sus.
I have seen such a droid. I catalog inventory on arriving transports.
Ooh, all these people are fucking sus. Kill them all. Kill them all.
Whoa.
Where is this droid now?
I believe it is departing on that transport.
Oh, it's here? Oh.
Stop that shit.
Whow.
I can't do that, General. They've been cleared for departure.
Well,
Let's
we're
blow it up.
I said stop
Override.
that shit. That's an order.
I don't know why I laughed at that. I said for the
They were all empirical.
Imperial?
And I said empirical? Empirical.
I laughed so hard when he said for the Empire.
The loyalists. They all were, the way they were looking.
Okay, this person.
Oh,
Who the
yes,
fuck
yes,
are
yes,
you?
we must know. Who are you?
Are you Barris?
Barris. Who else could it be?
Some people
Probably
will
Barris.
speculate Starkiller, but also, like, I don't know who the fuck Starkiller is, because I've never actually saw the lore that Starkiller is from, but I know a lot of people love a Starkiller. Look at that, like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do about it?
I feel like we're not gonna get the reveal this
No.
close. We're too close. So wait a week. Saying two at the same time.
One's a droid, though. Just kill the droid real quick and be done with it.
Alright, droid's done.
Now let's see who the hell this person is.
Oh, she's using it as a shield. Oh, okay, there goes the shield.
Is it a woman? It maybe is a woman? I don't know.
Don't miss this time.
I forgot how much Chopper was sassy. Take off the mask. Take off the mask.
Who are you? Remember Chopper would like flex on people?
Yeah. I remember when him and R2 went at
Yeah. Is it Barris?
it. I mean, that's like
Whoa!
big guess, right?
Is the lightsaber's gonna come back though?
Like a boomerang.
Oh dang! Look at them just. I mean, the lightsaber has to come back. Yeah, there we go. Oh, he's just like.
Now, Chop.
You're just gonna throw it? That's so silly, but it's
Chopper.
so funny.
I love Chopper.
Hit him with the flex.
Yes, that's Chopper's signature move.
She going for her helmet. Oh, her
Oh,
armor.
her armor.
I feel like there's just a lot left talked about up to this point between her and Ahsoka and what really happened. She's gonna cut her hair. We saw her with the short hair in the trailer.
I mean, she always had shorter hair in,
Yeah.
in Rebels anyway. But I feel like this is also kind of symbolic of like, okay, I'm going forward. Like. Oh, there she is.
I'm ready.
She's like, I'm not.
No.
Was this the scene?
Oh!
Is this like a live action adaptation of that scene? Because this looks
Ah,
the closest to it. She like touches it.
For Ezra.
Okay, definitely.
I think it's kind of like a version of it.
Yeah. They were like, we're just going to get rid of the staff aspect of this.
But now we're gonna go find Ezra.
She did have like the hood over her.
Take us out. Padawan.
Ah, there we are. Whoa, a hyperspace ring?
Is this what
No,
they were
what is
constructing
that?
with all the stuff that they took from
Oh!
that? Yeah. They're trying to get there.
Yeah, but it's a
They
massive
need
one.
it. Yeah. Because they don't have the
Huge
purple.
one.
Because Obi-Wan used this in Attack of the Clones.
Right.
What the fuck is that third person?
Of the final hyperdrive has begun. Soon the Eye of Sion will be complete,
Oh.
and we shall deliver.
Okay, that's what they're calling.
That's the Eye of Sion.
The appearance of Ahsoka Tano on Corellia troubles you.
Why?
Her presence in the Force is elusive, yet her determination is vivid.
Nothing can prevent our journey.
To kill her will be a shame.
Shame.
Ooh.
There are so few Jedi left.
He's not
Yeah.
completely like Sith, obviously. I wonder what he really wants then, you know?
He kind of reminds me of Sabaoth from the books. Because Sabaoth, I mean, I don't know.
Spoilers.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know if, like, this is what he wants in the show, but Sabaoth just kind of wanted to, like, the Jedi were superior to people, and the non-Jedi weren't. But it was like, okay, like, he had respect for other Jedi and Force
Yeah.
users.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of respond to that statement and then kind of give my initial thoughts. So from Balin's perspective, what he told Shin when they were like looking at the map initially, he said it means war for some people, but a new beginning for others. So we obviously know he has some sort of motivation that from surface level here would mean that he wouldn't want Ahsoka to die necessarily. So he might value, her presence in the
Jedi.
Force. Yeah, I guess being a Jedi-ish. I mean, it's hard for me to call her a Jedi because she said herself that she
Right.
wasn't a Jedi, but now she's taking out an apprentice. Overall, my first opinions of this show are that I find myself wondering if I didn't have all the backstory of Rebels, would I understand it? And there's a part of me that wonders whether I would. I feel like the whole Ezra thing, obviously it's important to us because we've seen all of Rebels, but if you don't know who the hell that person is, all you know is that little hologram. And I guess I made a joke during these 2 episodes that like the whole sister like romantic relationship thing between Ezra and Sabine, that in my opinion was always portrayed as kind of like a romantic type of thing. But I guess if you're just going off of like what they said in this show, you might think like, oh, that might just be like a brother-sister type of thing. And if they ever do cross over into that whole like relationship thing, then you might have some weird thoughts. But other than that though, I thought there was a lot of elements I liked. A lot of elements though, I feel like were just kind of set up for a bigger story. I think that we haven't even really kind of got into that yet. I said it also multiple times throughout these 2 episodes that a lot of what we saw in the trailer were in these 2 episodes. Like there were a couple other things that we saw in the trailer, like Thrawn, which I honestly don't think we're going to get into Thrawn until like maybe the back half of this season. But there's a lot left to be questioned about what's actually going on here.
I personally really like both of these episodes. I also really love Rebels though. I feel like people who watch Rebels and love Rebels will probably really like this show. But I do agree with what you said. It feels like a setup, but like I'm really excited though to see the next episodes. Like I'm like excited to see the rest of the story. Like, okay, like what is Baylan? What is his motivations?
Baylan's the
Like
coolest.
how are they gonna find them? What's the journey gonna be like to go seeing Thrawn and Ezra? Is Ezra even gonna be there? Like there's just so like this was just kind of scratching the surface of I think where the show is gonna go, and that's really exciting for me. But I do understand what you said. If you didn't see Rebels, you might not. I mean, I don't know. Let us know in the comments if you didn't watch Rebels and you watched this. Let us know.
Are you freaking confused?
Are you
right
confused,
now?
or are you like, oh, this is cool? Like I get it. Like I'm just interested in the story in general and the characters. But I feel like if you did watch Rebels, it would definitely enhance your experience because okay, I know all these characters. I know about Sabine. I know about Hera.
The significance
Chopper,
of Ezra.
because like I feel like there's just so much that it's like okay, these characters have such a rich history, and we kind of saw a continuation of that history. But I know a lot of people don't watch the animated shows too, though.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
you should if you like this.
Well,
watch Rebels.
It's funny because before Mandalorian season 1, we're at the end of Mandalorian season 1. We were introduced to the Darksaber. We hadn't seen Clone Wars or Rebels, and then based off of what we saw in the end of that season with freaking Moff Gideon taking out the Darksaber, were like, what the hell is that? I remember being like, that's a black lightsaber. What the hell is that? And then we got berated in the comments, like, how the hell do you not know what the Darksaber is? So then we went on the Clone Wars journey, and then we followed that up with Rebels. So we now know all the lore and all the backstory and whatnot. But, you know, this one I don't think is as drastic as that, but like what I was saying, I just don't think that you will have like that emotional attachment to characters like Ezra, because they talk about Ezra being like this hero. Mm-hmm. And then with Thrawn's character, they made him to be like this ominous presence, something that the rebellion, well, I guess it's not the rebellion now, it's the New Republic, had concerns of, and then it was kind of this ominous threat. I'm trying to like do my best to think about it from a person who hasn't seen Rebels, to think like, okay, did they do enough to make you realize how ominous of a character he was? I feel like, you know, going beyond that though, from my perspective, from someone who's actually seen Rebels and knows Thrawn, my biggest question marks are with Baylan. And like wondering why Baylan is so loyal to Thrawn up to this point and what he actually wants. Also, who the hell is that mysterious third character? I know we kept talking about Barriss. Like, I feel like that's the most obvious choice. But if you haven't seen Clone Wars, do you even know that that would be an obvious choice? Or otherwise, it's just another character, you know, for you. Because that's another element about like, okay, you know, who does Ahsoka have a history with? Obviously Barriss. So if you haven't seen Clone Wars, you probably don't even know who the hell we're talking about. However, I did like the elements, callbacks to Phantom Menace. I said this a couple of times. The whole thing with Shin with the little... It wasn't the probe droid. It was I don't know, the tracking droid, whatever. It was very reminiscent of Maul in Phantom Menace, tracking down Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn on Tatooine. And then even when Ahsoka had to jump on the ship, when she was like getting the map and that little sphere, I thought it was a little bit of a callback to that. But with all that being said though, I think my favorite character in these first two episodes was Baylan, even though we've seen so little of him. I'm so intrigued by his character. We now know that he obviously was a Jedi prior to Order 66. We know that he probably got Shin as an apprentice after Order 66 because that droid, which I forgot his name, the one who's played by David Tennant, he doesn't recognize the other lightsaber, but that it was crafted in the same ways that it was crafted prior to the fall of the Jedi. That's very intriguing to me. I will say though, in these first two episodes, I feel like weird about Ahsoka, and maybe it's just because of this unsaid thing that's happened between her and Sabine. She just seems so stoic to me. And for me, that wasn't what I remember of Ahsoka. I thought, you know, she obviously was a certain kind of way when she like reappeared in Mandalorian season 2. And even when we saw her in the Book of Boba Fett, this is going to sound weird, but I think she was just like a little bit more bubbly. And not like in like hey, you know, it wasn't obviously like pre-Order 66 Ahsoka. And I know you said like, okay, she's obviously older, but something's just very stoic about her, and I can't get over it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's also because of like everything she went through. Like, she's not the same self after Anakin, Darth Vader.
I even feel though that in Rebels though she was slightly different.
Maybe. All in all, though, I thought it was a really promising beginning, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of the show. Like, I haven't been this excited about, like, seeing the rest of Star... That sounds so bad. I mean, I was excited during Heirs of the Empire, but I just, like, you know, I feel excited, and I just, like, can't wait for the next episode, and, like, I just... Yeah, I like the acting. I love the way it was filmed. I'm excited.
I will say probably the most Star Wars feeling show that I've gone into up to this point. Because even honestly, The Mandalorian, I liked the first two seasons of The Mandalorian, but it was coming at like this universe in a different perspective. Someone from who was like a Mandalorian and a bounty hunter. And while we went into that show not really knowing the history of The Mandalorian, because we hadn't seen Clone Wars prior to like the first season of The Mandalorian, it was cool to see that. But getting back to the Jedi and lightsaber battles, I think there's something to be said about that, and actually seeing that on screen again, I thought was really cool. I mentioned it a couple of times here, but are we just going to ignore the fact that people can just get stabbed in the chest like with impunity?
Like the gut, the stomach,
I don't know.
the torso.
To me, that's kind of ridiculous. A little bit like, I said it, I don't know if Casey during this edit will include it, but I said it during this episode that if you're just gonna keep stabbing people in the chest and having them live, it's like The Boy Who Cried Wolf for me. I'm not gonna believe when someone gets stabbed in the chest with a lightsaber. I'm just gonna think that they're fine. And obviously, I think that was like a bad first episode to end it off of, and maybe that's why they included 2 episodes in one, because I kind of feel like this was like a prologue to an actual story. It was kind of like, okay, here are these characters again in this new setting, in this live action setting, and then to kind of see what their journey is about to embark on. I kind of feel like that's what this first 2 episodes were. It does kind of feel like they should have been watched back to back.
Yeah. Well, also, if you hadn't seen Rebels at all, I feel like you did kind of need like an introduction. You needed something, because if it would have been like Sabine and Ahsoka just going off in the ship together, you'd be like, what is going on?
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like, and then also establishing the kind of Sabine, Ahsoka like kind of angst is going to be something that they talk about on this adventure. Like, it's going to be brought up again.
Yeah.
I do think that it's good that Ahsoka did get an apprentice, because when you're facing another Sith, they're not really Sith, but Baylan and Shin, you have a master and an apprentice. I think it only makes sense that it'd be another master and apprentice on the other side, like the opposition side.
Then who's that third person to them, though? Who to Baylan?
Who knows?
Honestly, there is a lot of intriguing elements in this show about things that I find myself questioning. And I know I feel like I've been a little critical of some elements, but I do find myself very intrigued by other elements. And like questions like that are like prominent in my mind right now. It's like, who the hell is the third person? Is it actually Barriss? What does Baylan really want? Those things are so cool to question. And I don't know where they're going to go with it, but depending on where they do go with it, I find myself like in my head thinking like, okay, what does he really want? Is it kind of a situation like what you said with what was his name from the Sabayoth? So is it a situation where he actually thinks the Jedi are like superior, I guess, to like other people who don't use the Force? Yeah. That's a very intriguing element, because it just seems like whatever he's gonna get from this was promised to him by Thrawn. And who the hell knows what that actually is? Because Thrawn is such an interesting character from what we even saw in the Clone Wars. I know you dived more into his lore from the extended universe. I guess it's not canon necessarily, but I feel like they're probably going to take elements from it and put it into canon. He was never like full-on villain, Even from what we saw in him in Rebels, he had his motivations, and they obviously weren't the same as Palpatine. And I feel like that's going to be really cool to dive into. Also, what actually happened to Ezra, I feel like is going to be really cool to dive into. I said it a couple times throughout these 2 episodes that I think it would be really cool for him to be part of the dark side, just because if you've seen Rebels, you saw those tendencies pop up from time to time.
Remember when Maul was like, our apprentice?
That was like a really funny
We
moment.
literally still quote that to this day. We're like, our apprentice.
Yeah. I think Ezra is such a unique character because I think he mimicked a lot of things that you saw in Anakin from the prequels and just from lore in general, that, could he go either way? And as much as a lot of people would probably want to see him like come back to the light, be with Sabine and see him become a really cool Jedi, I think it would be equally as cool to see him become a really good villain, because I love a good villain in a show.
Well, let us know what y'all thought of these 2 episodes down in the comments below, and we will see you next week. I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to it.